Yes. Yeah. Oh, fine. I mean, I never thought. Yeah.
Their own video. Property, here's the highlight, here's whatever, and then
Yeah.
kind of like.
Hello, good morning once again. How are you guys doing today?
All right.
Fabulous.
If we could have you come on in, have a little seat. If you don't want champagne and orange juice, it's okay, I understand. But we do have some there in case you want some. And I'm gonna start our training now. If everybody can make sure you take notes, it's gonna be very, very impactful. But we're gonna have our movie star kick it off first. and-
Essence, go up there, girl. Come on.
You're the
Come
movie
on.
Come on, you're the movie star.
I should actually show the video that we did together. That's what I should show. All right, so.
Okay, well, everybody knows our friends there. You're gonna go ahead and kick it off.
Hello, everyone. Those that don't know me, I'm Jerry Ferris with Claremont Title. I've been in the real estate business for 10 years. I love social media. I love podcasting. And Oscar was cool enough last week to sit down and do a little impromptu session with us. And it was fun. Thank you, agents who were like brave enough to put the headphones on for the first time and roll with it. And I wanted to show you that like even just being an impromptu thing, each agent got like 8 to 10 clips that you can use to post on social that shows your expertise, it shows your personality, it shows your knowledge and shows who you're hanging out with. Like any video I post sitting next to Oscar and Rocket Mortgage elevates me. People are like, wow, you are hanging out with the big guns. So I want to, if I could just share just a quick little clip from last week that I threw together. In one of the things that I mentioned to you before, shooting a little video, throwing it into CapCut or Opus clip, and then just having it spit out what they think is a viral moment. And I just had a couple with you guys. So will I be able to mirror?
Yeah, it says if you choose
Uh-huh.
KW's, did I?
Okay, we're good. I did not say I was great with technology, however. We are going to give it a go. Sorry, I had it queued up and then somebody took over the TV screen and
Messed it all up.
messed it all up.
Yeah, it's a guest
Sorry.
speaker. It's a guest speaker.
The man of the hour.
They're ruining things.
All right, here we go. This is just, is there volume? Do I have control of the volume?
Yes.
Yeah, you do, you do.
I do?
Yeah, you do.
There's a remote.
Good.
This is just some of my favorite, like a couple of my moments that I. Dramatic pause. What's happening here? It says it's playing.
Well, I won't ask you, I won't ask you too many hard questions.
Go ahead, make my day.
I think I like pink, I like blue, I use, like, I don't know why.
Yeah, it's that question.
Wait, what does that mean? I don't even know what it means.
Hey, this is mobile, this podcast, we'll meet you in the restroom.
Oh, that's right, you got a traveling YouTube channel, right?
No, it's actually a historical monument YouTube channel.
No, I'm following the wrong guy. Hello, and over here, you see the Hollywood sign, for those that don't know, please introduce yourself. For the gram, I can't afford you.
You can't afford not to.
Thank you so much.
Amen, sister. All right, I love that. I could talk to you for the next hour. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Nice job. It is so good. It's hard. It's not that hard. All right, goodbye.
Nice day, bye.
Anyway, I had so much fun like looking back on a lot of it, and it was amazing because at first it was like, oh, what are you gonna post on there? What are you gonna say? What do you do? And so I'll let the social media expert talk about it, but like just getting a little bit more comfortable with putting yourself on camera, for me, it's a lot easier when I can do it with someone next to me or if I'm going around with somebody. So I'm here to support you in that. Like I own the equipment, I own the gear, and if we can set up, we were talking about this just a minute ago. I'd like to kind of, with Oscar, we would also kind of come up with a strategy. Maybe we do a content caravan day where it's like we'll sit down and talk about what type of content we'd like to create together. And then we'll go on caravan together. We'll go get some beautiful images of properties and stuff. I did it with a great team yesterday. And I don't mean to totally hijack this whole thing, but it was really just a lot of fun. Let's see, well, this one was good with Oscar, right?
Day at the beach based on a national weather forecast, right? Like you would you would say map weather in Malibu today, right? You wouldn't go plan on buying your home based on the national news. You want a local expert. And we all live here in California, and you know there's a huge difference between Malibu and Manhattan Beach.
So that was fun. That was like an example of what Opus Clip pulled as what they thought was a viral clip. I didn't have to do anything when it came to editing. I just threw up that short video and I was like, oh, I said that.
Hold on. You took it up. I
Yep,
want to show how I wanted my hair like you. One time I used to have it like that, but it's a different.
This is actually an ad for Aquaphor lip balm. Before and after.
All right.
All right, well, that's that, but like, so I have some clips that I'll share with all you guys later, but it was really a lot of fun. We don't have to take ourselves too seriously. We could have a couple bullet points that you want to hit, but like, I'm sure these guys will share with you that like, there are so many tools to help you put the stuff out. So we can help get the content. These guys can help crank it out for you and do whatever, but let's not be afraid of it. We really should have a lot of fun with this stuff. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you want to see my whole family?
Thank you for those words of encouragement.
we got
for
you.
supporting us and for doing those clips. Thank you.
Love you guys.
All
right, thank you.
Okay, now we're gonna have the man of the hour. His name is Brandon. He flies around the world. Well, not just the United States. And he actually gives this training. So he's a very important person. They actually pay to have him speak. So you guys are in for a treat. Do take notes. I'm gonna ask you to just keep your questions towards the end, but write down so you don't forget exactly the question that you have. That way he can go ahead and go through the whole content because his presentation is very intense, and it's gonna take about an hour. Okay, so if we go ahead and ask him questions, he may even take longer than that. So hopefully you guys benefit from it and take value. You can get started today with the opportunity that he's gonna present. So I'll go ahead and take over, Brandon. Thank you very much. Give him a round of applause.
Okay. Awesome. So yeah, thanks so much for the intro, Oscar. I'm super excited to be here. Like Oscar said, I travel all over the country teaching these classes, working a lot with MLSs, associations, and now recently working with brokerages as well. But I've been traveling teaching these classes for about the past 3 years. And outside of my job, traveling, teaching these classes, I'm also an entrepreneur, just like pretty much everyone in the room here today. I've actually built and sold a few different businesses in the fitness industry over the past 5 to 6 years and currently operate group fitness studios back in Michigan. And the only reason I bring that up is because these strategies that I'm going to go through today for real estate, we've used and applied. They're tried and true in multiple industries. I've helped hundreds of agents grow their business using these and super excited to share it with you. So just a little bit about me. I'm coming to you from Chicago. Like I said, I've been doing this for a while now. Super excited to be on the West Coast. And before we dive in, everyone's phone, they're probably already on silent, so we're good there. But like Oscar said, take as many notes as possible. I'm not able to send out this entire PowerPoint deck, but if there's any slides you want to take pictures of, feel free. The only thing I ask is that if you notice I am in the picture, my left side is my good side. So you can just try and capture this side. And then finally, jot your questions down. I'll open it up for questions at certain points, but just to make sure we get it all through, and let's go. So how many of you guys have some kind of social media for your real estate business, whether that's a Facebook page, a Twitter, a LinkedIn? Okay, raise those hands and keep them up high. How many of you feel that you're actually utilizing it to its fullest potential? Okay, like that's why I stuck around today, right?
Yeah.
Is anyone brave enough to share what maybe 1 or 2 of your biggest weaknesses are when it comes to social media? Yeah, I'm shy. You're shy? Yeah, that's a big one. Putting content out.
That's part of his charm.
What about you?
Oh, probably the same thing, just getting the camera and videos and then, just trying to be creative, like thinking like, I know what I want to do, but like, how do I talk?
Yeah, that's a big one. Do you have one back there? No?
No, I'm just very private.
Just private,
Private person.
yeah. What about you?
Not knowing what to talk about, you know what I mean?
So kind of like the content piece, and that's one, sorry, Skype chat's blowing up. That content piece is one that we hear often. It's like, what kind of content is actually good, valuable content to even spend the time doing, and what's just kind of like filler that's not really going to even make a difference. Anyone else? There's one more that I kind of have in the back of my mind.
You're waiting for us to tell you.
Yeah, if you can.
Time?
Oh.
Time, consistency. How many of you guys struggle with the consistency piece of it? Like some weeks you actually have the time to focus on it, whereas other weeks you're trying to work with your clients, you're out there in the field, you're doing all of those things. So content and consistency really are the two big C's that we hear most often, and we're gonna tackle all of that today. But first thing I want to open up with is the top 7 platforms that we find agents are not fully utilizing in their online marketing strategy, but give them the best return on investment are going to be your website and blog, Facebook, X, which used to be called Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. Now, first thing I'll tell you is you should be on every single one of these platforms. And I know that might sound a little bit overwhelming, and it's certainly time consuming. But if you think about it, in general, each one of these platforms has a different demographic of people that are spending time on there day to day. For example, Facebook is where Generation X and baby boomers are spending a lot of time. Twitter and Instagram is where the millennials are at. LinkedIn is your professional network. And I'll work with agents, and they'll tell me like, yeah, Brandon, I got my Facebook, I'm good there. And I think maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, I might have set up a Twitter, but I don't know what the password is. I haven't logged in, I haven't posted anything. And I get it, it can be a lot of work, but there's zero value to just having the profile. You really have to be active and consistent in order for it to make a difference in your business, and it will. So today, as we go through this, we're gonna obviously talk about how to increase your social media value, but we're also gonna talk about this idea of increasing your SEO value. And does anyone know what SEO stands for?
Search engine optimization.
That's right, search engine optimization, which really is just a fancy way of saying it's how you rank in Google and the search engines. So both of these, that SEO and social media, really work hand in hand and are equally as important for your overall online presence. So let's start with the number one way that you can start to increase your SEO, and that's going to be through blogging. Has anyone here ever done a blog before? Yeah, have real estate blog? Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Also real estate?
No,
Different one?
I did one.
Okay, cool. So if you're not familiar, a blog is basically just like an online newsletter, really designed to do 2 big things. Number one is brand you as the expert in your industry. And I would argue that it's more important now than ever before with all the changes or potential changes that are going to be happening with the NAR settlement. It's more important now than ever before that you are proving how valuable you can be to your clients, and a blog is a great way to do that. But when it comes to SEO, the second and probably most important thing is just this general idea of content building. And you've probably heard the saying before, like content is king, you have to post as much content as possible. And when it comes to blogging, this is so critical because anytime you write or you post a blog, it forces Google and the search engines to read it, to analyze it, and then index those key terms to start to place you higher up in the search results. So if you don't have a blog, there are several different free places that you could go to get one. WordPress is a huge one, blogger.com, ActiveRain. But really to get the most benefit out of your blog, I want you to take a look within your website. Most agents have a website, and most of these websites already have a blogging feature built in. And if you think about what we were saying, if each of these blogs has their own individual SEO value, well, when you have that under the same domain, the same website URL as your entire website, you're giving all of that SEO value to your website as a whole. So now you're showing up higher and higher in the search results. So you know why it's so important, but what kind of content is even good content to create blogs about? Well, first one on here, probably not going to come as a shocker, but you want to put out some good, solid real estate content. But before you just start blogging away about what content you think might be good content, I want you to first listen to your sphere of influence. What kind of questions do people ask you guys every single day when they know that you're an agent? How's the market? Most common, how's the market? What's going on with interest rates? Yeah. Maybe like if I'm thinking about buying a home, what's the process of that? And all of those things, if they're asking you, they're also asking Google and the search engine. So add that to your blog and add value to everyone's life before they even think about having to ask you. But outside of that, I don't want you to think you have to be fixated on only blogging content about real estate. You could also blog some lifestyle content like financial advice or DIY projects. Even if your family has like a famous family recipe, around the holidays, people are searching for recipes all the time, and this is great content to put out there. But back to real estate specific. So one of the best things that you could put on your blog are market reports. How many of you guys put market reports on right now? Okay, quite a few of you. If you don't, the number one question people are asking is, how is the market right now? So you should put out a market report for every single one of the towns or communities that you specifically work in. Now, one mistake I see sometimes though, is sometimes agents will share these market reports on their Facebook and they share them from sources like realtor.com, where that lead capture is never gonna end up going back to the agent. So don't make that mistake. You can easily grab these numbers from the MLS, put them in some nice design form and add that to your blog on your website. Another big thing you should do is post about your listings. Now, I know right now if you get a listing, you take it, you put it into MLS, which of course you should be doing. But when you put it into MLS, it goes to 1,000,001 websites all at the same time because the MLS is a database. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but Google actually avoids database-driven content because it's the same on everyone's website all at the same time. And it doesn't want to just copy and paste things to make it go to the top. So to get more eyes on your listings, anytime you have an update to a listing, you should create a blog post like this. So think like anytime you have a new to market or a price change, or even an open house coming up, or any of your solds, put that on your blog, add a little bit about what happened with it, and put that listing address in the title. This is what actually indexes it in Google, so more people can find it. All right, and then last thing on here, showcase your local expertise. Maybe you do a review of some local restaurants in the area or some of the best businesses. You write something great about them on your blog, chances are they're going to share that on their social media where they have hundreds or potentially even thousands of followers. And that's just even more exposure for you. So the goal of this is build up as much content as possible on a regular basis. But I know when I talk with agents about this, agents say, well, sometimes I don't have time to even respond to all of my emails, let alone create all of this content. So get other people to do it for you. Lean on your lender. Say, hey, can you write me a quick 3 to 5 paragraphs on how to get pre-approved for a loan? Do some cross promotion that way. Or you can lean on AI to get some ideas and help with some of that blog structure. Have any of you guys done like ChatGPT or any of the other AI tools before? Quite a few of you. Okay, good. So if you're not familiar, in general, AI is just this overarching technology where you put in what's called a prompt and it spits back out information based on what it's been trained on. But one thing I always like to caution agents on is don't lean on this as the be all end all. Because first of all, it's very new technology. It does still make mistakes and it doesn't always follow all MLS rules and regulations, all fair housing laws. And because anything you post not only represents you, but it also represents your brokerage, you need to make sure all of that information is accurate. So what you can do is you can lean on this to structure it. You can do the research, you can find the facts, and then put it in there and say, help me structure this into a blog. Or the other thing you can do is just use it to get ideas. So I'm gonna give you 2 different examples. The first example you could do is you could say, give me blog ideas for my real estate website. It'll give you some blog ideas. The second thing you could do is you could say, I'm a real estate agent in the Los Angeles area, and I'm looking to build up the SEO on my website. Give me 10 SEO rich ideas to create content about. So you see in the first one, it was super vague, super like not specified what I'm looking for. But in the second one, I followed these specific guidelines. I was clear and specific and provided context. I said, I'm an agent in this specific area. You could also specify the format. I said, give me 10 ideas, but you could say, give me 20 ideas, give me 30 ideas. And you can also consider the tone. So in this first one right here, this is how AI normally spits back out information. It's very like professionally sounding, using big words. But if that's not you and that's not how you write, you can say, okay, I like this, but make it a little bit more casual. And then you can see in this second one, it's using like emojis and using more laid back words. So you can actually specify the tone that you want it to go in. But most important part about this AI piece is anything that you get back, you need to make sure you're reviewing it and correcting any mistakes it may have made. Does that all make sense with AI pieces? Okay. Now, last thing when it comes to blogging, a couple guidelines here. The key to success in blogging is consistency. You should be posting on your blog a minimum of once per week to really get the benefits. Anything less than that can actually hurt you because Google doesn't want to send someone to a dead or an inactive site. Working with an agent a couple months ago, and we were going through her marketing techniques and everything that she had, and she was like, yeah, I got a blog on my website. So I went on there, I was scrolling through, and the last time she had posted anything on her blog was April of 2021. Say, girl, you used to be a blogger. You can't call yourself a blogger anymore. But I want you to think about that from a customer perspective. If I go to your website and I see the last time you posted anything was over 3 years ago, what am I probably gonna think?
You're not
You're no longer in business. You're not doing it anymore. And it doesn't look very professional. So make sure to get that SEO value, minimum of once per week. You always want to incorporate a photo or a video that's going to increase the click rate and the engagement. And then as far as length, 3 to 5 paragraphs is the sweet spot. You don't want to write a blog that's 20 paragraphs long. Why? Nobody's going to read it. They're going to back right out and find something a little shorter. So keep it concise, max of 5 paragraphs. And then last but the most important piece, you need to make sure you have some form of lead capture. Lead capture could be a subscribe button. It could be a simple sign up form or even just your contact information. But you always want to make sure that if somebody finds something that they're interested in, they can either reach out to you or you can capture their information and reach out to them. So you did all of this work. You spent all of this time building up blogs throughout the month, but how are potential customers even actually going to find that blog? Well, you don't want to keep your blog just sitting on your blogging platform. What you really need to do is take that blog and share it across all of your social media platforms. By share it, I just mean copy that URL, paste it as a post into each of these. So by doing that, number one, you're going to increase the SEO value because Google's going to value a piece of content that's shared across multiple websites. But the second thing you're doing is you're reaching a much larger audience. Because remember, the people that are spending time on Facebook are generally very different than the people that are normally on LinkedIn or that are normally on Twitter. So if you just share on Facebook, you're only reaching those people and that number is shrinking every day. And then overall, you start to develop that brand recognition and that top of mind marketing. So blog is the base of all of this. Any questions about this blog section? All right, I got 20 new bloggers in here, and we're gonna leave here and start blogging. Question?
Curious what you said about Facebook. Why is it increasing in interest?
Just more and more users are going away from Facebook and going on other social platforms, Instagram, Twitter. So if you only limit to posting on Facebook, you're gonna start reaching less and less people because people are just going on other apps
What's the
now.
most popular one?
Facebook still to this day is the most popular one, but if you only post on Facebook, you're missing out on the millennials that are on X. You're missing out on all the business professionals that are spending time on LinkedIn. So you definitely still want to post on Facebook, but just make sure you're also expanding it to those other platforms.
Maybe it would be a good idea to post on Facebook, to go check LinkedIn.
Well, you can post the same content. So what you're doing is you take this blog and you post that on Facebook. You also post it on your LinkedIn and you also post it on your Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying Twitter's making a comeback? Per se?
Twitter's making a comeback. And we'll dive deeper into that in just a second.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go through each of these platforms. So let's dive right into Facebook then. This still to this day is the biggest platform.
What heck?
Facebook has over 3 billion users, and out of those 3 billion users, about 70% are logging in 6 to 10 times every single day for an average of 5 to 13 minutes each session. That's a lot of time on Facebook. So you definitely want to make sure you have your business on here, but the first thing we need to talk about is having a business page versus a personal page. So how many of you guys do have an actual Facebook business page for your business?
It's usually run considered Facebook.
No, just specifically Facebook. Okay, about half.
Okay.
So guys, those of you who did not raise your hand, that is your homework tonight. Because technically you are not allowed to do business on a personal page. It goes against Facebook's rules and regulations. And if they find you doing it, they'll actually throw you in a place called Facebook jail. Has anyone been at Facebook jail before? Yeah, it's a real place, right? It sounds silly, but it's real. They suspend your account. You have to go through a whole process to get it back up and running. And if they find you doing it enough on your personal page, they will totally deactivate it and you lose your friends, your family, everyone you've built up over the years on there. Exactly. So that content has to originate on the business page, but you can always share it over to personal from there. And I'll talk more about that in just 1 second. So it's got, hang on just 1 second. So it's got to start on the business page, but then on here, just like with blogging, the key to success is consistency. When it comes to Facebook, to get the full benefit, you need to be posting a minimum of 2 to 5 times per week, every single week. But you don't want to be posting just any random content. I go to agents' Facebook pages just about every day. And generally, I see the same thing on a lot of them. It's new listing, open house, new listing, open house, price change, sold, new listing, buy with me, sell with me. Everything just about listings. And I want you to think, if that's the only thing that you're putting on your Facebook page, who are the only people that are going to find that actually relevant and valuable?
People that are looking to buy or sell.
Yeah, people that are looking to buy or sell right now. And the reality is most people on your page, they're not looking to buy or sell right now. For your sake, hopefully someday they will be, but most aren't right now. So you need to focus more time and energy on posting content that we call value-based content. For value-based, I want you to think, does it motivate? Does it inspire, inform, educate, or entertain? And the general breakdown should be about 80% of this value-based, only about 20% posting about your listings, or trying to get a lead, or trying to make a sale. Most agents right now are doing the exact opposite. So you need to lead with that value, but then what kind of content fits into all of that value-based? Well, what about all of those blogs we were just talking about? Blogs on market reports. Number one question people are asking is, how's the market right now? Blogs on DIY articles, buyer seller tips, all of that community information. So all of those blogs that you're already creating fits into that value based. But I'll tell you, an issue sometimes agents will tell me is, they'll say, yeah, I got all of these blog articles going on my Facebook. Some even say I pay a company that does it for me. And I go on there, it's true, they do have blogs on there, but the blogs are coming from HGTV, or Keeping Current Matters is a big one, Back at You Media is a big one, or even Zillow. So if I click on that blog from Zillow, where's it gonna take me? Zillow. That's the last place you wanna be sending your clients. And listen, that's Zillow's goal. They give you all of this free content because they want you to share it on your page. Your followers click on it. They go spend some time on Zillow. Zillow can capture that lead and then sell it back to you or another agent next month in a zip code. So how do we avoid that? Well, you need to be posting all of these blogs as what we call self-branded, meaning when I click on it, it takes me back to your blog, takes me back to your website and keeps me under the umbrella of your business. So if we take a look at these two examples right here, on the left side, there's 9 dated features. If I click on this, it's taking me to hgtv.com, I'm out. You lost me. I'm with a totally different company. Whereas this one, home price is still growing. If I click on this, it takes me to briannabofoli.com, and that's this agent's real estate website. So I just went from her Facebook page to her website, builds her SEO from getting more traffic, brands her as the expert, and keeps me with her business. So if you do it how we talked about, you post that blog on your website and you share it from there, that makes it self-branded. That's exactly how you need to do it. Start on your website. So blogs is a big one. In addition to that, try and post some photos and videos. Those videos that you were showing, those are great. Because guys, photos and videos get 40% higher engagement than text posts alone. The reason for that is because if I follow your page, I want to feel connected to you in some way. I already know that you're an agent, but what more can I learn about you? I know some agents who always post about their dogs. You know how many other dog lovers there are out there? And that's how you can feel connected with your followers. So share those more natural, human, personal things, because that's what your followers want. They want to feel connected with you outside of real estate. Another great thing you can do is go live on your page. When you go live, everyone gets notified, which means you're top of mind. They can click right on that video. And with Facebook Live, it's interactive. So people can ask live questions. You can interact with your customers. I always recommend, if you've never done that before, try doing it before your next open house. About an hour or so beforehand, go live on your Facebook page. Give them a tour of the property. Talk a little bit about how the community is or how the market is in that area. But I want you to think about how powerful that is. I could be at my kitchen table on a Saturday morning in Chicago, Illinois, drinking coffee, and I could actually be at that open house with you. And the great thing is I could ask questions. I could say, hey, show me the backyard one more time, or show me how big the walk-in closet is. And more homes have been sold sight unseen over the past 3 to 4 years, and I'm telling you, Facebook Live is a huge part of that. So all of these things we've gone through so far, the blogs, photos and videos, the Facebook Live, all of that is the value-based 80%. But it is still important that you're posting about listings for that other 20%. There's a right way to do it and a not so great way. So let's start with the not so great way. This is what I see a lot. Agents will get a new listing. They're gonna get a bunch of pictures, maybe hire a photographer to take a bunch of great ones. They'll upload the pictures to their Facebook page and say something like, hey everyone, check out this new listing, 123 Main Street, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, or just backyard, price is solid, give me a call.
Right.
What are some things that might be wrong with that?
I don't know, I do it all the time.
I do it all the time. It's perfect. So listen, first thing I want you to think is, if I'm a prospect and I'm scrolling through Facebook and I start checking out these pictures, I might be a little bit interested. Do you have any way of knowing I'm looking at that listing or I might be interested? No, there's no lead capture. So you might get some likes on there, but they might just think the house looks pretty. They might not actually want to work with you. And so there's no lead capture. But also I want you to think, what if I'm scrolling through and I'm interested in this, but I have kids? And I really need to learn more about, like, what are the schools in that area? Or maybe I'm curious, what are the taxes in that area? Can I find that from a Facebook post alone?
Yeah, because they have the address.
But can I find information on schools right on Facebook on this post?
Oh, no.
No. So what am I gonna do? Go to Zillow, go to Realtor, go to Redfin to find that information, and you lost me. Or worst of all, what if I'm scrolling through and I'm like, ooh, I didn't know I could afford in that neighborhood. But this is a 3-bedroom home. My family really only needs a 2-bedroom home. Can I search for similar properties on Facebook? No. So again, where am I gonna go? A national portal. So many times what agents are doing is they're getting their followers so excited about these listings, but then forcing them to go to a national portal to find all of the information they need. So how do we avoid that? Well, you need to be posting your listings as what we call an optimized post. Optimized post is a fancy way of saying it's a link that takes people back to your website, your blog, or your landing page that must have these 3 things. It must have lead capture going right into your CRM. Full listing sheets, so I can find all of that information about the schools or the taxes. And it needs to have MLS IDX search. So if this isn't the property for me, I can check out similar properties right from your website. So this is an example of what it looks like. You can still put that whole caption up here, but if I click anywhere on this post, it's going to take me back to your website where it has lead capture, full listing sheet, and MLS IDX search. So now if you look at these 2 examples right here, on the left side, I'm uploading some pictures, I'm posting my listing to Facebook. Whereas on the right side, I'm optimizing. This one gives my clients everything they could potentially want and need with me and only me. And this one, I like to say, it's a bunch of pretty pictures and a prayer that somebody's going to actually pick up the phone and give you a call. So do you see the difference there between the 2? Just that small change can make such a big difference for your real estate business. Now, last thing I want to talk about on Facebook, how can you start to grow your following? You only have a few followers. These are very straightforward, easy ways to do it, but you have to be consistent with it. First one is promote your page. Promote what's called your Facebook handle or your social media handle, which is the @ symbol and then your page name. Put that anywhere you have your email address or phone number. So think business cards, email signatures, any print marketing material you have. Make sure you let people know where they can find you. Second thing is share content from your business page to your personal page, but do it with intention. Don't just share everything you post from business to personal. Leave a little bit to the imagination. Write a really great article, share it to your business page, and then share that to your personal page and say, you know, hey, I just wrote this article about XYZ, thought it was really fitting given the hot weather we've been having lately. Come follow my business page for more. I write a new one every single Wednesday. So share that content, get them excited about coming to your business page, and also simply just invite your friends. On the personal page, if you go to the top of your business page and click invite, there's now an option that just says invite all. So every single one of your friends get a notification that you invited them to come follow your business page. And they make it so easy now. Do that every couple of months as often as you can to try and get people to come follow the business. And then last thing is lean into video, text, or email marketing. I work with a lot of agents who have hundreds or even thousands of contacts in their CRM, but very few followers on Facebook. So bridge that gap, maybe once a quarter, once every 6 months, send out an email blast. Give them a little snippet of what you post on there and all of that valuable information and have the direct link so they can go follow your page. So all of these things, gaining your following, posting 2 to 5 times per week, posting that value-based content, all of this is tapping into the #1 tool that you have at your fingertips, and that is top of mind marketing. Being the first name that somebody thinks of when they're ready to buy or sell real estate. Isn't that the name of the game? Right? Marketers actually say that nowadays you have to be in front of somebody 25 times before they'll do business with you. 25 times. Could you imagine sending a mailer out, 25 mailers to every single lead that you have coming in? Be broke doing it. But the good news is, where are people 6 to 10 times per day, 5 to 13 minutes each session, and it's totally free. They're on Facebook. So be in their newsfeed and provide that value. That way, when they are ready to buy or sell, you're the first name that comes to mind. You can crack that code, you will be very successful in your online marketing for your business. Any questions on Facebook? I know that was kind of a big one.
Can we hire you to do it for us?
You can.
Cool. Okay.
Hold that thought.
Right to the point. Right?
All right, class is over. Let's go.
Oh, done deal.
Yeah. Okay, guys, next one is LinkedIn. So first, how many of you guys have a LinkedIn? Okay, just about everyone. How many of you guys are actually posting on your LinkedIn? Okay, a little bit. I see this all the time. Agents have LinkedIn, but they don't realize how powerful it is. LinkedIn is second in the list of these social media platforms for a reason, because it is so important. It has such high SEO value that I can almost guarantee if I were to Google any of your names in this room and you have a LinkedIn profile, it's going to show up on page 1 of Google, likely towards the top, and that's whether you're active or not. So you need to put your best foot forward, because most buyers and sellers, they're referred to a few different agents. And they're gonna do a Google search before they even think about picking up the phone and calling you. And if I find one agent who's providing all of this valuable information and another who hasn't posted in 5 years, just from that single thing, who am I leaning towards? I'm probably gonna reach out to the one providing value first. So there is so much power. It's hard to actually see how much business you might be missing out on from people visiting your profile and not seeing anything. But I'm telling you, it has such high SEO, so you need to get this set up today. And you also need to make sure it's branded towards real estate. I sometimes work with agents and I'm scrolling through, I'm like, is that you? Like, yeah, it says you're a nurse. You're never gonna get any leads for real estate when it still says you're a nurse. So make sure this is branded toward your real estate career. On here, you should be posting 2 to 3 times per week. And the good news is you should be posting very similar things you're already putting on your Facebook. All of those blog articles you're creating, all of your listing updates, all of those market reports. You want to post them as self-branded links on here. So when I click on it, it makes LinkedIn another super high way of getting traffic back to your website. Also, don't be afraid to brag about yourself. If you get an award or recognition for anything, make sure that's going up on your LinkedIn. And then last thing with this, I hear from agents a lot. They tell me I have LinkedIn, but the only people that ever want to connect with me are other agents. Why in the world would I want to do that?
Or letters.
Yeah, or letters. Well, I'll tell you guys, there is far more value in connecting with those agents than not, because LinkedIn is the #1 agent-to-agent referral platform on the internet. Number one. Give you a quick example of this. A friend of mine who's an agent in 2021 moved from Chicago down to Miami. And when he moved down to Miami, he didn't know anyone. He was starting fresh. But what he did was he sent a message to all of the agents he still knew up in Chicago. And he said, hey, I'm moving down to Miami. If you know anyone looking to move down here, send them my way. And he said, if I know anyone looking to move from Miami back up to Chicago, that doesn't really happen. Once they're down in Miami, they're probably staying there. But he said, I'll send them your way. And he was telling me that on average, he gets 1 to 2 referral leads that he ends up working with every single year, just from those Chicago agents that he stayed connected with. So think about that for you. Do you know any agent that live in any other state or any other area in California that wouldn't want to make the drive? Connect with them. But I'm telling you, it's just like playing the lottery. You don't play the lottery, you're not going to win. If you don't post consistently on LinkedIn to stay top of mind with those agents, you're never going to win those referrals. So this is valuable for both your clients and referrals from agents. Make sense? Yeah.
So why, and maybe you don't know, but why is LinkedIn so SEO driven? Because I think that's really interesting. Doesn't seem to be in the scope.
Yeah, I don't know the exact reason for that.
Yeah, okay, and it's no big deal. I find it surprising,
Yeah.
but it's true because when you do look up agent to agent referral,
Mhm.
how do you find those, right? First place is Facebook, going in the groups, right, a lot of times.
Yeah,
But then you want to check them, look at their personal Facebook, and then I always go to LinkedIn, because that's where the professionals are,
Yeah.
right?
exactly.
You know?
And this is really where you
So-
can actually have more trust in the people that
Yeah.
you're working with, because you
I like
know their professional credentials and their experience. So yeah, LinkedIn is huge.
Thank you.
All right, Instagram. So guys, first thing about Instagram, it's owned by the same company as Facebook, Meta. You do have to have a business page. Same rules apply. Business profile, and on here, everything is visual. So you have to post a photo or video, but the good news is it's generally the same categories of content. You want to make sure you're posting all of your listing updates. And this is a great opportunity to use Canva or some kind of image design software to make an image like this. Same details about the listing, but you put it in photo form and then you post it on there. Now with Facebook and LinkedIn, we talked about the goal is to get people from those profiles onto your website. On Instagram, you can't post a link. It'll be grayed out if that's in the caption. So does anyone know the way around that? You say, for more information, visit my link in bio. Yes, link in bio. So it's just one extra step for users, but let them know to visit your link in bio. You can set up to 5 direct links in your profile section, and those should all go back to your website. Exactly. Still getting them back to the website, just one more step. So all of your listing updates go on here. Any of those market reports that you post on your website, take a screenshot of those, add those on Instagram. Any virtual video tours that you might have, or even just any community information or client testimonials. The goal with Instagram is you want to showcase your personality. People are going to follow you for your personality. So don't just post real estate content. Just like on Facebook, try and give them a look behind the scenes of who you are in your day-to-day rather than just your professionally tied together self, right? But one big thing I see a lot of businesses specifically missing out on is utilizing Instagram stories. So if you don't know, Instagram stories, those are the bubbles at the top. They're only up there for 24 hours. And you might think, well, why waste my time then if it's only there for 24 hours? Instagram recently released a stat that said on average, 1 in every 5 Instagram stories results in a direct message. You've seen it, right? Because more and more users are spending time in the stories section, and it's so easy for them to respond and ask questions and send messages right from the bottom. So make sure anything you're posting on your page, still post it on your page. So when people find you, they can still see that content and scroll through and go back. But day to day, everyone's spending time in the stories. So take the same picture, also upload it to your Instagram story. Make sense? Okay. And then last thing with Instagram, now you'll notice TikTok is not one of the top platforms that we talk about. TikTok can be great, but first of all, we don't know where it's gonna be in the next couple months. But even if it does stick around, TikTok is more designed for worldwide entertainment. So your video could be seen by somebody that's in Australia, which probably is not gonna be helping your business. So with Instagram, it's more designed, the algorithm, to help you with hyper local, getting in front of people around you. But if you are creating reels, it's the same kind of video content, but your goal should be to make those reels about hyper local information. Don't talk about just general interest rates. Your goal should be to talk about how the interest rates affect your specific market in this area. So that way people that are on that algorithm for the hyper local will see your content. Reels do get in front of people who don't even follow you. So there's a lot of great value, but keep it all about the local.
The reels stay a long time.
They do. Yeah, they're posts. They stay on there. Yeah, question?
As far as the stories, do you have a suggestion how many we should put? Because sometimes you'll go to people's stories and they have like 15, 20, and you can't stay through each one.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, a lot of those are just fluff. I would say if you can post at least one story a day, that's good. When you start getting, I mean, unless you have like a long drawn out story of one topic you're trying to tell and you have a lot, that can be okay. But if you're posting 20 stories throughout the day, people probably aren't gonna see the ones towards the end. So I would try and keep it just value-based, what's gonna be relevant and valuable to your followers.
Question.
Yeah.
So is it better to post through business Meta or go separately post on Instagram and Facebook?
Good question. So you can connect your Facebook business page and your Instagram business page through the Meta Business Suite. If you post from there, that's totally fine. It just makes it easier for you. Algorithm wise, it's not gonna make a difference. It's just sometimes the business suite is technical and can be confusing if you're not used to all of that. So at a minimum, post on each of them, but you can totally combine them.
Just a quick question on, say you post a video that seems to be getting a lot of attention, right? And then, which I posted this morning, and then all of a sudden now I'm meeting you and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna post this conversation. I'm like, do I wait till tomorrow to post what I think is gonna be exciting? And would interrupt what might be getting a lot of attention earlier, or does it matter?
I mean, it doesn't really matter. If you don't have anything big valuable that you plan on posting tomorrow, maybe just save another conversation for tomorrow. So that way, the one that you posted today gets its attention and the one that you post tomorrow gets its attention.
Okay.
Okay, X used to be called Twitter. A lot of people still use it interchangeably. Biggest thing about X is number one, the main demographic on here are the millennials. And millennials are first-time home buyers and sellers. But outside of that, staying in front of these millennials is super important. Very few businesses spend time on on X and try and stay in front of them. But another big thing about X is it also has really high SEO value because it's an open forum, which means posts on X actually show up in Google search results. Have you guys seen that? Super Bowl's going on, you search Super Bowl, everything up top is all posts from X. Or it used to be all the tweets from Twitter. So all of these are actually being indexed in Google, just like an individual blog, which means you want to make sure you're posting those same things, all of your listing updates specifically, because with listing updates, if you're posting that on X, I'm a random prospect. I drive by 123 Main Street. I'm probably going to Google it if I want to learn more, right? So I Google it. Well, now your post talking about 123 Main Street on X can actually show up right at the top of the search results, right by the Zillows and the Homes.com and all of those main national portals, because every post is indexed with the search engines. So this is a great way to get around it. Even if you're not actively retweeting or interacting with other profiles on here, you need to make sure you're posting 2 to 3 times per week, because this is all indexed in Google. Now, when you post your listings or you post those articles or market reports, you can't post a full listing sheet or a full 3 to 5 paragraphs because there is a 280 character limit on X. So you want to give a little intro and put a self-branded link. So when I click on it, I go right back to your website. Makes sense, just like the other ones. Post that link on there, get them back to your website. And then last social platform, and then I'll open it up for some quick questions, is YouTube. Now with YouTube, this is owned by Google, which means this is #1 video platform out of Vimeo or any of the other ones. Because if somebody does a Google search, Google's gonna send them to their own platform of YouTube before they send them away to Vimeo or any of the other ones. So on here, best things that you could be posting is #1, any video virtual tours that you have. But I'll tell you, when it comes to video virtual tours, it doesn't matter if you're paying somebody to do it, or if you simply take pictures, stitch them together and put them to some music. Google cannot see a difference for that for SEO, but I'll tell you what is important is you always need to make sure that you have that listing address right in the title. That's what's indexed, that's what people search for, and a link back to where do you think in the description? Your website. Yep, getting people right back to your website. So listing virtual tours is huge. If you have any educational videos or vlogs you want to create, this can be great on YouTube because videos on YouTube have long-term value. You probably notice when you do search, sometimes there's videos that were made 5 years ago or 6 years ago that still show up at the very top of the search results because YouTube is not as much chronological as it is valuable. If you create a valuable video about top beaches in the area or top parks to visit, that could stay #1 in the search results for a long time. Now, the downside is this is more time consuming, right? Editing videos takes a lot more time. This is the last platform on here because this one out of all of them, I would say is probably a little bit more optional. Don't worry about spending time on this until you've already checked off the boxes for all of those initial platforms we talked about. Because you'll get value of this. But the value that you'll get organic leads and SEO wise from all of the other ones is going to be much higher. So those have to be done first. If you get any video testimonials from clients, definitely post those on here. And with any of the videos you're putting on YouTube, don't leave them just sitting on YouTube. Make sure you take that video, you upload it to your website on the blog section, and you also share it to all of your social media platforms so everyone's able to see that content. Now, video marketing is getting huge right now, especially in the real estate industry. NAR actually recently did a study that said 73% of homeowners say they're more likely to list with a realtor that uses video. It's strange, but only about 10% of agents are actually taking the time to do it. Majority of people want to work with an agent that's doing it, very few are doing it. This is time consuming, but if you can tap into this, you're setting yourself apart from 90% of the other agents. But I don't want you to think that video marketing has to just be YouTube videos. You can also use video to market yourself by sending out happy birthday videos or happy holiday videos, happy move-in anniversary. How many of you guys have ever received a happy birthday video from somebody? And do those not mean almost more than anything else you received throughout the day? They're so personal and they're so connected. If you take the time to send out a happy birthday video to your top clients throughout the year, I guarantee your name is going to be the top of the list when they think back to all the things that they received. So try and send this out for your top maybe 100 clients. Figure out who those are, set up your reminders in your CRM, and send out a video every year to them for birthday, move-in anniversary, and both ones for holidays. Now, when you're sending these out, you can send them out through text, but usually if you're doing like a mass thing like this, sending them out through a CRM via email is easier. And if you do email this out, make sure you're including the word video in the subject line. Brainshark did a study that said from simply adding the word video to the subject line, it increased the open rate by 19%, increased the click-through rate, meaning they went to their website by 65%, and it decreased unsubscribes by 26%. These numbers go to show people like videos. Take the time, try and schedule that in so you can start making this happen. Okay, any questions about Twitter or video marketing? Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Well, I know everybody's gonna have questions and we hopefully are gonna answer all the questions. I do have a couple of them, maybe save some time that are important. And I'd like to kind of call them out if that's okay with everybody. If I have a Facebook business account and all my followers are on my personal, does that affect me in continuing to market or put an ad out?
No, ads, paid advertising, you're choosing specific demographics. Unfortunately, we don't have time to dive into that one.
Yeah.
I think we had a 2-hour one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, you need to separate your personal and your business. Because first of all, you can't post business content on your personal. So it's just not allowed. But also, you want to get people that want to see your business content on your business page. You
Yep.
don't want to shove content down people's throats that didn't ask for it. So keep your personal, keep your business, and try and get people over to your business that want to follow you on that route.
On the Instagram, can you put your website link on the click here for more information, or it has to be on the bio?
It has to be on the bio. You can't have it on the post unless it's a paid ad.
Yeah, if it's a paid ad,
If it's a paid ad, you can.
yeah, if it's a paid ad, yeah, okay. The local situation, I know that you talked about the hyper leads. Can you explain a little bit about how that works? Just briefly, the hyper leads in the area, is it the algorithm that tells you where the area and that's where it's sending the information, the leads? Well, when you post on Instagram, you said that it doesn't go like TikTok around the world. It goes locally to a
For the
hyper.
Reels section.
Yeah.
So Reels is based on topics for the algorithm. So if you've been watching videos about Los Angeles real estate and you create a reel about Los Angeles real estate, yours will show up in that part of the algorithm. But it's just really based on the topics that you're talking about. So there's no way to choose that audience or way to have like specific things to get it there. It's just what you're talking about.
The last question that I have is, once upon a time, websites were the thing to have. Oh, I gotta get my own website. I gotta get my own website. And that kind of went away because we all have business websites now, correct? Which one is best to use? Business website or a personal website?
And my last slide is talking about websites. That was a perfect segue.
Okay.
So all of this whole strategy of class so far has been how do you get people from your social media profiles back to your website? Your website is still the base of where you're capturing these leads and where you're keeping everything organized and allowing people to learn about you. So how many of you guys do have a website for your real estate business? Okay, how many of you guys are actually getting leads from your website? Okay, but if you would like to get leads from your website, everyone, right? So if you don't have a website yet, you need one. Because the goal of this is getting people back to your website to capture these leads and continue working with them. If you don't have one, two of the most popular options for real estate websites are you can hire somebody to custom code and build the technology for you. This route, you own it. The downside is you can expect to pay a minimum of $15,000 to have all of that technology that you own that has all of these things on here. So if you don't have a website, it might not be the first route that you want to go, but the other option is there are companies that have technology platforms that you can lease their technology. You can use their website, CRM, everything combo. The difference is you don't own it. You're leasing the technology, but the bright side is you could do it for just a couple $100 a month. So for most agents getting a website, that's a great way to get started. So you can capture leads, have all of this technology, but a big difference is expensive. You own it 100%, much less expensive, but also you don't own the technology. If you decide you don't want to work with them anymore, you can export your data from the CRM, but you'll have to put it into another CRM to use it because it's their technology. Hang on just one second. So on here, as you're going through, these are the most important things you need to make sure you have on your real estate website. And the first thing is IDX connection. Guys, nobody wants to go to a real estate website just to look at a headshot and buy it. And I see that a lot. People want to go onto a real estate website to search for listings, to browse properties. So when you have your website connected to the MLS through IDX, it makes it like your own independent Zillow. You can send people there, they can search privately, they can search freely for all of these listings, but when they find one they like, leads go straight to you. So connect it to IDX. Make sure you promote any of your testimonials, any of your reviews, and also make sure it's mobile responsive. Over 85% of home searches begin on somebody's cell phone, so make sure that's optimized for that. Of course, you need to have a blog section. You need to be blogging on that blog section minimum of 1 time per week. Anything more is great, but minimum of once per week. lead capture all over the website, ideally going right into a CRM to keep it organized. And then one thing I always like to also just point out to agents is also think about the idea of portability. I know everyone in here, you guys get a broker provided site by being with Keller Williams. And if you use that broker provided site, you can certainly use it. But what I recommend is that in conjunction with your free broker provided site, you should have your own independent website that goes where you go and grows as you grow. Not saying anyone in here plans on leaving, but if you're doing all of the work to build up, type all of these blogs, do the research, build up that KW blog, what happens if you were to have to leave for any reason? What happens to that website? Yeah, unfortunately, you can't take it with you. So like I said, not saying that you have plans to leave, but that's something to think about. If you're gonna put in the work or you're gonna hire somebody or you're gonna put in the energy to build up the SEO on a website, make sure it's one that's branded to you. So if anything does ever change, you can take all of that work with you.
Who do you recommend for the IDX? Do you have specific companies that you'd like to work with that will hook you up to the influencer?
Yeah, so I'll talk about some resources at the end, but
Okay.
really, if you can have a website that everything is integrated,
Right.
that's best, because there are third-party plugins that you could create a free website on Wix, buy this
No, I
third-party
would do. I like
plugin.
that. You're hiring a real professional. They would already know how to do that.
Exactly, yeah, it would be integrated with the CRM, the website, everything, so data all flows together.
Okay, and you'll have those resources at the end.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Jumping.
That's okay. So guys, really biggest thing about website, one that's gonna generate leads for your business and one that's gonna do nothing is static versus dynamic. A static website means nothing's changing. You build the entire website and then it sits in the search engines like a ton of bricks because there's no new content. But dynamic, you wanna make your website more active and dynamic by creating blog content and tying it to what gets the most traffic and activity on the internet. And what do you think that is? What have we been talking about?
Video.
Video, social media, YouTube, SEO, all of that. So this chart is where it brings it all together. Up here, you got your website, right? Within that website, you have your embedded blog. All of these keywords giving all of that SEO value to your entire website because it's under the same domain. And then you take that blog and you share it across all of these social platforms, but where are they all sending everyone back to? Your website, yes. We call that linking and backlinking. Taking one piece of information, sharing it across all of these sites that drives everyone back to you. I got bad news. 9 out of 10 real estate websites are in that bad static category because what's the only thing changing on most real estate websites today? Listings. Yeah, and remember when we talked about blogs, listings are all database driven. So if you just have new listings, that's not active because Google's not indexing any of that. But by doing this, this is how you turn your social media from a toy into a powerful lead generating tool.
Lead generating.
Lead generating tool. So how many of you guys agree that online social media marketing is essential for your real estate business? To grow it, yeah. How many of you guys are going to leave here and you are going to manage your website or build and manage your website? Build and maintain your blog minimum of once per week. Post on Facebook 2 to 5 times per week. Post on X 2 to 3 times per week. Post on LinkedIn 2 to 3 times per week. Post on Instagram minimum of once per week. Market to your sphere of influence using email. Create video content when you can and still have time to do real estate.
Let's go.
Let's go. So you're a couple of you guys like, maybe not. Question, yeah.
Okay, so like the world's really busy, right? You know?
Hang on, hold that thought.
No. No, you just taking. How much time, all I wanna know is how much time per day
So-
would you suggest allowing, and is it best to do morning or evening or when?
Time doesn't matter,
Okay.
what time of day you do it. If you are doing all of this yourself, you're a single agent, transactional, you're doing everything yourself, you can expect to spend about 20 hours per week building all of this content, getting it on your website, optimizing your website, doing all the posting. So split that up however you want. The other option is you could lean on a company to do it for you. And the good news is our company does offer services that can take care of all of this for you. So if you were going through class and you're thinking, okay, I love this, but I don't have an extra 20 hours to do all of this. Or I see how important this is, but I still hate Facebook and I don't want to be the one to do it. I invite you to stick around. I'll go through a quick demo. I'll show you what it is that we offer. This is the end of the education portion, but if you're interested in learning more, I'll show you what we got. And we do have discounts today for our live event too, for anyone who might be interested in taking advantage of it.
Is that for me today or for the next 48 hours?
That's my agent.
So guys, what we do, we work with you on full circle marketing. So the base of all of this is we're building you a custom website that is connected to the MLS through IDX. Now, we're building this custom for you, so there's so many different ways that you could go about doing it. This is more of a luxury market if you're a luxury agent. This one is more of focusing on pictures, buyer, seller, home value. But in general, when we work with you, we're going to collect information, get your info, headshot, and bio. We'll obviously have searches for listings, and then we'll have featured listings. Now, these could be yours and or your offices, so it always looks like you have some on there, even if you don't. We'll ask you to choose up to 9 areas you serve. And when you choose these areas, if somebody's on here and they want to click on it, not only is this going to bring in all of the listings in that area because it's connected to MLS, but you can also use this as like a client or a neighborhood resource. On this one here, this agent decided she wanted to focus on what like the schools are in the area. She wanted to feature what the shopping is, what some of the parks are. And we can even have it connected to Yelp. So as people go on there, they can see what the top rated restaurants are, what the top rated workout centers are. So when people are looking, it's actually more of a client resource than just somewhere people go to check out some listings. But obviously listings are very important. So if I'm on here and I wanted to check out this listing right here, because it's connected to the MLS, it's going to bring in all of the pictures from that listing. It has the full listing sheet, all of the comments, interior, exterior information, where it's located on a map. And we even take it a step further and we bring in what the schools are in the area, what the walk score is for that specific property, what the payment mortgage calculator would be, and also related properties. In case this isn't the one, I can check out all different ones in the area. But does anyone remember when we were talking about websites, I said 9 out of 10 real estate websites are in what bad category? Bad. Because the only thing changing on most of them are the listings. So we actually make your website more dynamic by embedding a blog right within. Now remember, key to success in blogging is that consistency piece. And you can see content that's going out is all specifically about what's going on right now, specific to the real estate market and the kind of the climate that it's in, but we create all this content for you. So we create the content in 3 different categories. First category is you get one general value-based real estate article every single week. Now, this is about what's going on in real estate news, home ownership tips and tricks, better homes and gardens type of content. But the great thing is, unlike many other companies, with us, you'll never receive the same blog, same day, same time as anyone in your office or even MLS area. We have an advanced algorithm to make sure that doesn't happen, and all the blogs are regional. You're not going to get blogs about like snow removal when it's winter up north. It's all specific to this area. So first category is we create one of those every single week. The second category is we're actually going to create a market report for every single one of those featured towns and communities that you work in. We'll download the data right from the MLS. We add it right on your website with those specific numbers. So you're getting up to 9 new market reports every single month. And then the third and final category is we actually follow your MLS ID. So anytime you get a new to market, there's a price change, there's an open house, there's a sold on the buyer or seller side, you don't even have to let us know. We get notified from the MLS and we'll create a blog specifically about that listing. So it's indexed in Google every time. So this breaks down to about 2 to 3 blog posts per week that we're creating for you on your website. Great for building up the SEO, but we also take care of your social media to try and get people back onto your website to actually spend time on there. We'll take care of your Facebook business page, your Instagram business page, your LinkedIn, and your Twitter or your X. If you don't have any of those, our team will help you build them. And if you do already have them, this is still your business page. If you want to go live on here, so go live. If you want to post all of your specific videos and pictures, by all means do it. But if you don't have time or you just don't want to be the one to do it, we're going to make sure that you're remaining active and top of mind with all of your followers 2 to 3 times per week. And one thing I want you to notice is if I click on this to learn more, it's that self-branded link, which brings me right back to your website and keeps me with your business. Now, last piece with this is it is an all-in-one package that does come with an automated CRM on the back end. I know you guys obviously already have Command, but with this, there's any leads that come in from the website would go in there. And there is some automation that can just help you with some quick follow-up because it's connected. On the back end, you're able to see what everyone is looking at, what listings they have saved, what search criteria they have saved, so you can set up property alerts. It does come with a mobile app, so you can respond to leads on the go, or you can even work with them on the computer because it does have voice over IP technology. It has video marketing, so you can send out those happy birthday videos, happy holiday videos directly through email. Plus, there's tons of templates that you can use to send out any mass emails or mass SMS. You get 20,000 emails per month and 1,000 SMS credits already included, which for most agents is more than enough. Do all that mass marketing, and then we're also going to send out a newsletter to everyone in your database once per month on your behalf. So we take all of the content that we've built up over the month on your website, put it in a really nice graphic design form, and we'll send that to everyone you designate. So you're also staying top of mind with them in their email inbox. There are design templates that you can use for any Instagram ads you want to create or print flyers. Plus, in the next couple of weeks, we're launching our AI marketing assistant tool. And with this, so rather than ChatGPT that just creates words, this is designed to create social media posts. If you have an open house coming up that you want to promote, you can either click on a preset prompt or you can type in your own prompt, and it'll actually create the caption for what the post should be and an AI generated image if you don't want to upload your own. So if you struggle with creating marketing content, this is a great tool on there. And the last piece to note is because this is an all-in-one technology, if you have any content that you want to post on social media, this connects all of it. You go to one part in the back end of this CRM, upload the picture, upload whatever caption, and when you click post, it sends out to all of them. It's also a great productivity tool. Now you're probably saying like, shut up, stop talking. How much does something like this cost? So I'm going to pass these out. Oscar, could you help me just pass them out on that side for me? Or actually, you can do them on this side. So one thing I want to know, guys, is these sheets here are our normal pricing. I am going to have you cross off and update what the live event pricing today would be. Does anybody need a pen? Everyone got a pen? Okay. I've been taking off good notes already. I am. Did everybody get one? Yes. Thanks, man. So guys, what I just went through on there is part of the Pro package. The Pro is the all-in-one, it's the custom website, blog content, social media, automated CRM. Normally, our price for this is $300 per month. You can sign up for $300 per month at any time. And honestly, if you think about it, it probably would be pretty difficult to hire a marketing assistant to do all of this for less than $300 per month and make sure it's done well and consistent. So $300 is our anytime price. Today, though, I want you to cross off that 300 and write in 160 for the month. The price is discounted from 300 down to 160 for the monthly option. Now, this is a 12-month partnership. So if you decided you wanted to just pay for the year up front and not make monthly payments, you could do the annual prepay rather than that $32.40, cross that off, and that's discounted down to $1,500. Now, there is also a setup fee. Setup fee is normally $500, and that's for our team to build your entire site, help you build any social platforms, get all of your data imported. But $500, cross that off, that's discounted down to $200. And add a little note on there that if you do the annual prepay, we waive that setup. So it makes sense up here. If you do monthly option, 12 months at $160, $200 setup. If you pay for all of it up front, it's the $1,500 flat, and we waive the setup. Just one second. Yeah, just one second.
Just wanted your phone.
But there's more.
But there's, so I just want to go through the other option on this sheet, and then I'll open it up for questions. So the other option on this sheet, the plus package, is if you already have a website that you own. If you already have a website, it has IDX, it's not a broker one that you're building up SEO on, but it's your website. The plus package is all the blog content, all the social media, and it does come with a basic version of the CRM. So this would just tie right into a website that you currently have or own. Normally, this is $200 a month, but cross off that 200, that's discounted down to $120 for the monthly. Annuals discounted from $2,160 down to the $1,200. And setup is discounted from $300 down to $100. So one thing to note with this pricing is if you take advantage of the live event pricing, this is your pricing. So it's not, you would pay $1,200 for the first year and then it jumps up to $2,160 the second year. It would be your pricing. Now, to qualify for this pricing, I would have to take the order form with me today. I'm not in any rush to get out of here. I will come around and I'll answer one-on-one questions too. But to get the live event pricing, I would have to take the order form with me today. The normal pricing on there is still a great deal and it's available anytime if it's not something you can decide on today. But like I said, if you take the live event pricing, that would be your price moving forward.
Question.
Yes.
So if you take the annual prepay this year and then next year you're gonna do it monthly, would that be?
Yeah, that's totally fine. After the first 12-month period, it goes month to month. You could do monthly at that point, or you could cancel at any time with a 30-day notice, or you can do the same annual prepay with that discount.
Another question. In your opinion, what is the percentage of your canned? Because most of the companies that work, what they post, I feel they're all very canned. And I hate that.
Yeah, so the way the company creates one article for everyone at the same time. Everyone gets it at the same time. It's all the same content. When we're creating it, you're not going to be getting the same article as everyone else in the office. Now, when it comes to market reports, if you have the same town or area, of course, it's going to be the same.
No, but Instagram posts, you get those typical, it's so not personal.
Yeah.
And
So if you have a certain design aesthetic that you're going for, we can take notes on that and our team can notate that for when we're creating content. But one thing I want to make sure is clear is we aren't going to be able to do video editing. If you send us something to create a personalized video that you created, we aren't at that level where we would be able to do all that customized stuff for you. So any hyper local stuff or anything specifically about you, we would still say definitely you post all of that. But all of the stuff that we talked about value-based articles, that's relevant and valuable to everyone. Your listing updates, your market reports, all of that stuff that can be outsourced is where we come in.
And what is the turnaround time? Let's say I need something to be sent out to 20,000 people.
Mhm.
So what should I expect my site to be up and running for me to be able to do that?
Are you saying if you have a mass email that you want sent out? So we'll train you on how to do all of that. We can definitely help you with it too. Generally, any support tickets that we receive after you launch, we say 24 to 48 hours give us, and that's our turnaround time. During the onboarding period, it takes about 3 weeks to get you launched and up and running. And that's really just as long as you're available. Onboarding happens in a series of 3 calls. So the first one is 60 minutes for our team to gather all of the information you need to build your site. It takes about a week for us to build the site. We'll have a second call to go through page by page, take notes of any changes that you want, make sure it's a site that you totally love. And then after those revisions, we're ready to launch. When we launch, all of your blogs start posting, all of your social media starts posting. And then the third call is a CRM training call. We do group training calls, small groups. So we'll go through in depth how to use the system, one-on-one training for sending out mass emails, all that good stuff.
And you said it has text messages of 1,000, correct?
It does, yeah. You get SMS credits of 1,000 per month. And we use a Twilio integration, which I'm sure many of you guys are probably familiar with. So anything beyond that, we also have to pay for, and we just pass that on. I want to say it's like $15 for an additional 1,000 credits on there. So not super expensive if you want to do a lot of SMS marketing.
Will we be assigned to a live person if we made the commitment and, something wasn't working out? Is there someone to call, a live person? Or,
Yeah, so during onboarding, you'll have one person on our team, either Cheyenne or Melissa, that's gonna kind of like hold your hand through the process. After you launch, they do also help with support tickets as they come in, but they're usually on onboarding calls throughout the day. So we have somebody else from our support that actually takes care of like answering phones, setting up any support Zoom calls that you need. So different people, but consistent people at certain parts in like the journey.
all right, so there's real people behind it.
Real people.
Okay, sorry.
And also, one thing to note, though I am not on like the website building team, I do travel and teach these classes a lot, but any agents that sign up with me, you always have full access to me too. If you ever had any like strategy ideas you want to run by, or specifically, I help a lot of agents with Facebook ads once they launch and they want to start taking it to the next level. So I do have my business cards, and I'll make sure to give you all one of those, but I won't necessarily be your support person, but you do have access to me for strategy stuff too.
Last question from me. Who is Zipper Agent?
So Zipper Agent is the actual platform.
And it's a group that's been around, came around, or?
Yeah, so Zipper Agent's actually been around since 2012. When we started, we were a CRM base. We started as a CRM and evolved and grew into the full circle marketing. So we've been doing the full circle marketing for 5 years now, where we do social media, websites, all of that good stuff. But yeah, we've been around for a while.
Another question, so the website,
Mhm.
so you're charging that fee of like say 1,500 a year, and you want like a luxury or, luxury brand, which is that, if you have the additional fee.
So good question. Thank you for bringing that up. The luxury design that I showed you, the Miami one, is an additional $200 setup fee. So if you did the monthly option, it would be $400 for the setup for the luxury site, and then the annual prepaid would be $200. Just because there's a lot of additional time that goes into it. So yeah, it would
So
be.
if I were to pick the 1,500, then it would be, the setup would be,
Rather than it being totally waived, it would be 200. So it would be 1,700.
Okay, so, one, this is a great product, so thanks for coming.
Thank you, yeah.
It solves a lot of problems. How easy is it to integrate our current database, like our CRM, and just, do we hand that over to you and your team and have them put that into the system? And then secondly, I'd like to ask, like, a lot of us are working together on creating different farms, and each area might have a different amount of times that we touch them or reach out to them. So is there a way to bucket our group of people, like the way that we want to touch them and reach them, as opposed to everyone getting the same?
Yeah, absolutely. So the CRM is totally customizable when it comes to like tagging, categories, all of that stuff, even fields that you want to have on the customer profiles. All of that's customized. So for farming, you'd either have them in a specific category with tags for the area or however you want that organized. And the process of like current database CRM in here, usually most agents just have us duplicate it, where we'll have you export a CSV file, we'll import it and get everything in there. There are some agents that love their current CRM,
Yeah.
love command, and they want to keep doing that. If that's you, keep it in there. When a new lead comes in here, just have it also go in there and you can use that, but.
We could treat this like our current CRM, and it would,
Absolutely.
okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
and a lot of agents do, because new leads that come in are automatically fed into this.
Got
another question.
Good question.
So the website that you built, how are they, like Google, how does Google look at it? Because like I know you follow the.
Why local?
Why local?
Yep.
They are very much high ranked.
Yeah, so what it comes down to is the platform is built on. WordPress is the best for SEO because it's so customizable. And ours are WordPress sites. So we're building them WordPress. When it comes to SEO, the way that they're built is the best that they can be built for SEO. And then it's the blogs, the new content that takes it to the next level. Did you have a?
Yeah,
question?
and I'm just nodding over for a second.
Yeah.
So being a realtor, you know that we make your
Zero.
yes, my realtor and side coming out of me. Is it possible to get it discounted a little bit more than that? For people today? Like, I'm talking, yeah, negotiation. Can we do a 1,300 set up today? Besides that question, why are you mulling over that? Okay, carry on. No.
I'm gonna let them answer, but if you do shop around, this price is very economical. I mean, I've shopped around and I know the market. And they do charge quite a bit in the thousands for the services that they're providing, but I'll let them answer that question.
So what I would say is a big part of this, the reason that we have the discounts and want everybody to sign up today is because we spend a lot of money to fly me out here, keep me out here. I stay at like the W Hotel and, no, I'm just kidding. It's a holiday, interesting. But that's the reason we have them so discounted. If we got at least 5 people in the office to sign up today, I could drop it from 1,500 down to 13.
You should have said 1,000.
Well,
I can't do 1,000.
Well,
I got a guest room in our house, like, every time you come to LA, you can stay there instead, like, save some money on the hotel.
Hey, there we go.